a lot's been going on since we last talked.
I know. Well, it's effectively 2 months, isn't it? Yeah, it's
been that long, eh?
Yeah, it's 2 months.
That makes sense.
We talk so much when we meet that we make so many podcasts from just the one meeting. Yeah. So you've had some great experiences and some big news. So
yeah, lots. Yeah, you're right. Big news, like my wife's pregnant again.
Yay, that's fantastic.
And Mackenzie just turned 1.
Wow.
2 weeks ago.
God, that is going to be so amazing when they're growing up together like that. That'll be storybook stuff. Yeah,
and I turned 40, I think, since we last talked.
That's right. Yes. And there was a cosmological event as well. And
the Eclipse.
And you went to at least one amazing concert. So you've got all the things going on. I've got no things going on. Nothing's happened for me, really.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, not that you're right that you had nothing going on, but I meant you're right. But all those things, I forgot about half the things that went on since.
Yeah, it's been so long. I know.
Oh man. Yeah, because the eclipse was. Have you ever seen a total solar eclipse with your own eyes before?
I've never seen a total one. No. I don't know if I ever will, because they're once every 400 years or something, in any particular place. You know, so if you don't move to see one, then the chances are you won't.
Well, you have a wonderful opportunity coming up because not Scotland, but Spain has 3 total eclipses coming up in the next 3 years.
Wow.
They're actually having 3. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Depending. Yeah. So it'd be a good time to go visit Lily.
Yeah, she'll be back this summer. So, but she would probably want to go back. Yeah. Well, we'll need to see if it coincides. If it's after I get my old age pension, which I'm looking forward to. I'm going to get this vast amount of money I can't believe they're actually going to give me, and I'm still healthy enough. Then we might do it then. We'll see. Yeah, but I would love to see one. I've seen partial ones. So you tell me what it was like, because I would love to know from your perspective what that's like.
Well, yeah, it's hard to put into words. You know, like any other amazing experience. But it was, I was moved to tears, which didn't surprise me, but I didn't know if it would hit me that hard. You know, it was the one thing I wish I experienced. I wish I may have been around more people and around more animals, because we picked a beautiful national park that was on several lists here in North America as the absolute best place to go see the eclipse. So I was nervous because I picked that place before I'd even seen these lists, because I just basically went on the path on the map, and it was the closest spot for me to go, right? So it just happened to be the default spot where anybody like me would pick, and then as the forecast was changing, it became more and more the best spot, because the path was clouded through most of North America before and after we saw it. So Newfoundland had clouds, and then Ontario had clouds, Quebec had clouds, most of the US had clouds. We had a perfectly clear sky. Well, you saw the picture, there was barely a cloud anywhere to be seen.
Yeah, it was amazing.
So that, so I expected there to be lines up of cars and, no elbow room, but in the spot of the park we were at, there might have been 100 people, all within a kilometer radius, right? So very, very roomy. We had a picnic table that was sitting there that was completely empty. We sat at it because we forgot to bring chairs, because I was so excited about goggles and having, getting the baby ready, that we completely, and I, got my parents with me, and they're my dad's almost 70, my mom's in her late 60s, and she's got bad knees and a bad hip. So I should not have expected them to be standing around for hours, but I didn't even think about it. But luckily, so the picnic table was there, and it was just a really good, comfortable space to do it. So what I was missing out on is, I had a friend that got to see the eclipse near a farm, and he said all the cows and the goats started hollering and making all these noises he's never heard before.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, and all the birds stopped chirping, they went completely silent.
That was the one that I noticed when I saw that. I've seen 2 partials, and each time the birds went quiet, and that's that. You don't even notice the birds are there, of course, because they're just part of the background ambience of wherever you are. But when they stop, it's like, ooh, it suddenly becomes very strange. Yeah, but go on.
Yeah, exactly. So because the winter and the holds on a little longer here, that it was like the snow is just melting. Like there were still patches of snow here and there. So a lot of the songbirds weren't out singing yet where we were. So I didn't notice any birds at all before or after during the eclipse. So the only reaction I was hearing was the people around me, which was magnificent. Like there was a little bit of hooting and hollering, but it was a lot more of just like people just going like, oh my God, I can't believe this is like happening, you know, like even though we've all prepared for it, you know.
Yeah.
And I feel my eyes welling up just thinking about it. So it was very moving, you know, and I do implore anybody that ever has a chance like yourself, you know, to check it out. We got like almost a full 4 minutes of totality because we picked like right in the middle of the path. Yeah. So that was, and I don't think North America is going to have another 4-minute eclipse while I'm alive.
That's right. They're quite rare, but as you say, maybe I don't quite know how Spain can get 3 in the next few years. But I'll look into that. I think it's fascinating.
It's just a coincidence. Now it just because they're not all going through the same part of Spain. Like a couple of them are just grazing. Yeah. But you'll see the map, and it's just a super coincidence. You know that happens. You know, and there was like, for example, the eclipse that happened, you know, earlier this month. There's a couple places in the U.S. that had that same eclipse back in 2017, and the exact like standing in the same spot where it crisscrossed. You know, so
because that's right, because it's weird. It's not. Yeah, the orbits don't do what you think they do. They're very strange, and because we're spinning and it's twirling round us, and yeah, it's very strange. Yeah.
And look at the map. The next one that happens in Canada is in 2044, so 20 years from now, and it's going to be going straight north through Alberta, which is, I don't know, 5,000 kilometers from me. So, you know, Spain's closer, I think. You know, so
we can maybe meet up in Spain then and lose our minds to the eclipse.
Well, there you go. You know, and you know what? The one I'm actually feeling a tug to go. I think one of the ones that's going through Spain, it also goes through Egypt, and it passes directly over Luxor. So Megan's a history buff, so we might actually, if we go to one of them, that'd be the one I'd want to go to, is the one in Luxor.
That would be that. The combination would just you might not recover from that, man. That would be just
exactly
the idea of, you know, the silhouette of the pyramid against that bright horizon with the sort of the total eclipse above you. That would be awesome. That would be awesome.
It would be. Yeah. So we'll see. And I mean, that's 3 years from now, and I know that that'll be here in a blink of an eye, and we'll have 2 kids, and the'll be babies.
Oh yeah, things will be different for you then a little bit. So did it go? It got really cold very quickly. I take it was what happened? The temperature.
It was, because it was actually one of the nicest days we had of the year. So it was around 14 degrees Celsius when we arrived. Like we got there around, I think 3 o'clock or maybe 2:30. So it was like the warmer part of the day, and it dropped at least 10 degrees during totality.
Yeah, it's amazing that's the one thing that really, even in a partial eclipse, that happens. You know, the temperature drops all of a sudden, and you suddenly realize the whole relationship between the sun and the earth and the part the moon plays in. It all just suddenly comes home to you in one great dolloping wallop, and you've made an album about this, you know, about sun worship and all of that, and you can see why it would be such a powerful thing to people who didn't really sort of understand the mechanics or the simplicity or complexities of it. But we're sort of in a fortunate position of knowing what that means. You know, that's our satellite that's exactly the same size in the sky as the star that we orbit, which is, if you were looking for a message from God, that would be it. You know, if you wanted to say, if a scientist ever said, well, there's no evidence for God, well, no, there isn't any evidence, but there's some circumstantial stuff that's pretty fucking awesome, and that's one of them. That's like exactly the right size. Of course, in the past it wasn't, and in the future it won't be, but you know, it is just now. Did you get the diamond ring? Did you get the little? You got that as well. Does that happen? And that happens every time, does it?
Well, that's part of totality, I think, especially when you're right on the middle of the path.
Yeah.
And then you also got the Bailey's beads, that we call them here anyway, you know, where like the bottom half of the sun was like erupting with these red, like little sort of, like, I guess I don't even call them, they almost look like little lava lamp, like sort of things coming off of it, you know? And I took a couple quick pictures, but I didn't want to spoil the moment, you know. And there was a guy right next to us that had a telescope that was taking pictures, and he told me, I asked him before we started if he would send me an email with the links of the pictures, so I didn't have to worry about it. And he promised to, but I haven't seen anything. So,
what a shame.
Which is unfortunate. Yeah, it is a shame.
Yeah,
but at the same time,
there'll be plenty of those.
There's lots around.
Yeah, you'll be able to get those.
There is. I was just hoping to be able to say like this is a satellite photo right next to where I was, so it was kind of. I was hoping it'd be like that, you know, that personal, like an exact photograph of what I saw.
Yeah.
You know, but that's okay. Like I got that picture I sent you. That you feel free to put up on the show here.
Yeah.
Of me holding Mackenzie and my dad standing next to me while we're watching Totality. That my eyes are welling up again because that picture is one of the greatest pictures I'll ever possess, I imagine, you know. Yeah. So
one of the most unique anyway, yeah. It's fantastic.
Yeah, you know, and that's my wife, you know, she's the shutterbug and she's always looking for the right angle and the right moment, especially when it comes to pictures of me and Mackenzie.
Oh, right.
You know?
Right.
Yeah. And so I had no idea that picture was being taken, and it wasn't until afterwards.
Yeah.
It just put the whole cherry on the cake, you know.
It's fantastic. End. There's a weird thing that happens as well, and last time I looked into it, they didn't have an explanation for it, or they didn't know what it was. And there's weird shadows if you have a piece of paper and you create a shadow on the piece of paper, or any sort of blank sort of canvas of some kind. When the eclipse is happening, you get these weird shadows around the weird, and it's sort of like an interference pattern around the shadow. I can't quite remember what it looks like, but I just remember thinking, oh, that's to do with the nature. That's something we don't understand about light right there, and that's really really important, you know. So again, if you're looking for a message from above, it would be, look, you've looked at all of these eclipses, you've seen the weird shadows. What's taking you so long to figure it out? You know, it's just there right in front of us, and we don't have a clue what it is. You know, we come up. The more we look with big telescopes and things like that, the less we understand. You know, the more we realise how stupid we are. We're just like apes, sort of looking at this eclipse, going, "Duh, that's amazing," but we don't really understand the a lot of what's going on. It's brilliant.
It is, you know, and I was talking about this on my radio show too the day after the eclipse, but how we talk. There's a lot of, you and I are very into a lot of the outwards thinking, obviously. So, you know, we think about life, and we obviously assume. I'm assuming you assume that there's must be so much life in the universe that there's no way we're special in that regards. But the one thing that we've never seen, that with all the telescopes we have and how deep we can look, is we've never seen a planet with a moon that has the same relationship to the sun that ours has. Right? Like that's what I think truly makes Earth special, is that how the distance of the Earth to the moon versus the moon to the sun, like that perfect ratio of 1:40, and then the size of the moon to the size of the sun also being 1:40 kind of thing in that relation to the distance. You know, so there just happens to be right now in our time for the last, I don't know how many thousands of years we've been getting these total eclipses, and how many more thousands of years we'll get to see them. But like if I was a space tourist and Earth was a destination, that would be the reason you'd come, is for the eclipse, I think.
I think so, yes. It would be great. Maybe they're just all waiting, champing at the bit for us to realise they're there and extend the invite, and then they'll all come in their droves, and they'll bring all their wonderful technologies with them, and they'll just sit on the same place that you sat and just look at that amazing thing, and they'll come here because of that. You could be right. Yes, Earth as a tourist attraction. That's one of the sort of invasion scenarios that you don't hear a lot about. You know. There's not very many science fiction books where that's the scenario.
Well, maybe I should write that book.
Yes, you should. It would be quite a utopian book, because that's the problem with writing any kind of story. It's got to be kind of dystopian to keep people's interest. I think if it was just a nice story about how the aliens came and befriended us and made everything better, well, where's the tension? Where's the antagonist? No, this is a nice story.